I simply love opening my laptop anywhere and finishing the work that I need to get done. There are many different problems that I have to overcome on a day-to-day basis, and having ideas structured in a way for me that can help the work that I get done get rationalized, get understood on my own head, and can be then actioned on is so important to my process that I really appreciate today's sponsor for existing, Scrintal. Too many people struggle with making sense of their complex thoughts, and that's how Scrintal helps me stay organized and how it can help you stay organized mentally as well. Thank you to Scrintal for sponsoring this video. Scrintal is a platform that I have reviewed previous times on this channel and I'm a huge fan of. For me, something I struggle with consistently is taking big ideas and then turning them into actionable workflows. So usually when I'll go out for a walk, I end up having a lot of my best ideas, and something that I can do consistently in order to have those nice walks and then sit down at a spot to get work done while brainstorming my ideas well is actually utilizing Scrintal for different whiteboarding processes. And when I finish the walk, I'll essentially sit down at a desk, whether it be at some sort of co-working space or more specifically, coffee shops. Coffee shops are a great way for me to essentially get different ideas out there after I've taken a nice walk. I live in the city of Chicago, which is absolutely beautiful in the summertime. And even in the winter, I do this too, when I want to get out of the house. And I'll just walk around and enjoy the scene that is summertime shy or wintertime shy. And then sit down and start working in Scrintal on different things like this. So for example, I had an idea for a workflow a while ago that I really couldn't get a grasp around in my head. I work in a business where it's a lot about content creation, and that's essentially just a mathematical like input output sort of business. The more content we produce, the more revenue that comes in and the more that we end up making. And that's pretty much the same for a lot of businesses. However, it's definitely more operationally focused than other ones, or at least I try to make it. And what I was able to do using Scrintal is create different boards that help me outline those ideas. But not only that, I was actually able to create different cards specifically that allowed me to get some ideas as to the process of what it would look like. So it started from the position of me nagging different potential leads and figuring out what current clients then needed to be, nagged or asked whether we can do more content. And then making sure that we follow up with anyone who has an idea of content to make, that we do produce that for them, and finishing that content after we get the approval from the client, and then obviously nagging them for the invoice, and maybe then extending their service packages, because some people work with us in a recording capacity or editing capacity, and then we'll kind of expand from there. But in order to kind of get this process out of my head, I kept thinking about, I think I need the nagging pillars of success. Like the more I'll quote nag, it's a joke saying that I'm nagging them. I'm really not. But what I'm essentially doing is I'm focusing on the different ways that I can go through the process of asking more of my team members, more of my clients in a kind way in order to get more work done. And the nice thing about this, I created a board for this whole process, and then had cards within it that have the customizable markdown functionality that allowed me to put anything pretty much that I wanted to within here. So it explains within here what the different parts of the process are, and I could write out more about, what I needed to get done in each step of the process. And just simply by pressing this add button and clicking card, you can add another one and connect it to any of the different parts of the process. So if I ever get an idea as to how something else could go into the process, or maybe what other task could go under each step, I could easily add it and connect it. Like for example, something that I had thought of was creating like a top-down approach for content production. And I really wanted to make a landing page about it, but I also could do it for myself within here. So if I make a new board, and all I'd have to do would be go to this board spot right here, add new board. I'm gonna rename it to Content Strategy Framework. And I have an idea of this generally, so I can make a card right here and say general framework. So these are some ideas I had about all the different ways that I can create content for these different companies that I work with. So I'm just gonna put general idea dump. And what I can then do after like dumping in this notepad is down here, create some new cards where I'll take some ideas and say, okay, so let's do types of company video and social content. Some of them are like education content. And if you notice, I just double clicked and I went right in there, and I can put the notes in here, which connects to another card, which I think is SEO content, which I can write the title. And then if I double click in there, I'd put the rest of the ideas. And essentially what I'm doing here is I'm kind of brainstorming how all of these fit together, because for me, I am a visual learner and notepads don't do nearly enough for me. And I would categorize all of this content right here as, if I put text, organic, I would put it as company video content. And then if I duplicate this, I would write out organic social content, video meaning kind of YouTube. Then I could then create a new card that would be for something like founder content, which is something you can kind of create on socials by yourself. And something else that you can do in this regard would be something to the effect of case study interviews and like sort of product storytelling, right? So all of these different pieces of content can be turned into more repurposed items as well, but I wouldn't really be able to like map that out with text from my perspective, at least with how my brain works. I could, though, put in more of like a downward direction, multiple ideas for where this content can kind of come from and go into. So for example, if I did a little drag here, I'd say something like it would go from videos to help docs, and then maybe like what kind of help docs would be the notes within here. Other items in here could be not only help docs, but like newsletters and then social posts. And then I would think to myself, wait a second, doesn't that kind of work as well for the organic social posts for, okay, the SEO content, yeah, and the use cases, yeah. But do I have the ability to make blogs out of these? Not particularly, but I can do it for SEO content, so blogs. And I can do it for use cases and workflows a little bit if I really think about it, maybe not. Actually, yeah, probably just blogs for the organic social stuff. But as you can see here, we're kind of working now, and I can make adjustments on how this would showcase to people, but I kind of understand where all of the different sub-content can come from these main ideas. And writing that via a just text block doesn't really show that for me. But I had one of these epiphanies as I was like walking down the street and then went, oh wait, let me sit down in this coffee shop real quick, get some work done. Yeah, I just walk around with my backpack on and do this. It's call it weird, whatever, but I can get work done anywhere. So I really enjoy having this capability, and Scrintal allows me to write these ideas out in a way that's a lot more free form than what I'm used to in even a platform as fluid as Notion. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you use Scrintal to improve your skill set and understanding of your own ideas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you after watching this one on how to improve your skills using productivity tools like this even more.